Hey y'all, it's Amanda. So it is hashtag Tip Tuesday, and so today I have some great tips on spices you must have in your kitchen on your health and fitness journey. I will tell you that I do not like boring food, and I can tell you as a failure at many diet plans, one of the things that I really missed the boat on was boring food. I would eat the same food all the time. Who wants to eat grilled chicken and broccoli every day? I know that I don't. I know that you probably don't. So you have to keep things interesting. And one of the best ways to keep things interesting is with the spices you keep in your cabinet. Now, if you are getting to this article, if you've read my article that goes along with this hashtag Tip Tuesday, you know that I go into the health benefits of each of these spices and my honorable mentions. There are 3 honorable mentions. But today in the video, I just want to talk about how I use these things, okay? I just want to talk about how I use them. So if you weren't interested in like the reasons why we need to eat those, then check out the blog article. I totally go into all that stuff. But here is how I actually use these spices in my day-to-day life. They don't just sit in my cabinet and get unused, okay? So let me show you the first one. The first one is like my go-to, okay? The first one, pink Himalayan salt. Now, I bought this from Meijer because it was big and it has a grinder. Pink Himalayan salt, you absolutely have to have a grinder with it. I prefer to turn it upside down and grind it in here so I can control the portion, open it up, and season my food with it. It tastes really, really good. It's great to just substitute with your salt. That's all you got to do with it, is just substitute where you salt. If you're curious about the health benefits of pink Himalayan salt, I go into it a little bit on amandatpaul.com, but there are plenty of articles out there that totally support the use of this in the place of salt. So that's my number one go-to, simple salt. We like salt, right? Now, of course, we can't do too much salt, so we've got to come up with some other options. Okay, so the next one is cumin, okay? So this one I love to use in my Mexican dishes. I make a lot of Mexican food. My personal favorite spice blend is to mix cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, and smoked paprika in my Mexican food, okay? It is phenomenal. But there are so many great benefits to cumin that I totally have to add it to all kinds of things. But this goes in my chili, this goes in my Mexican food, this goes in any type of thing that I want to make a little heat. It's a very earthy type spice, but absolutely use this one all the time. As you can see, this one came from Trader Joe's, and it's not very much. I'm gonna have to go to Trader Joe's. If you don't go to Trader Joe's for spices, you're totally missing out, because their spices are usually like $1.99 a bottle, and they're about the same size as what you would get anyplace else, and they're good. Okay, so our next one, since I already mentioned it, is smoked paprika. Y'all, smoked paprika is life. I love it. I love my smoked paprika. I love it. Okay, reason why I love it is just that nice smoky flavor, okay? But there are so many health benefits that I never knew, okay? I also like to, like I said, I like to put this in my Mexican dishes. I like to put it in my eggs. I like to put it in my eggs with mushrooms and spinach or pico. I just like to put that smoky flavor in there, which means that I don't have to use salsa, which is really good because canned salsa can be really bad for you. So I can use this with pico and get a little bit of heat and that smoky flavor, which is awesome. I also love this on cottage cheese, believe it or not. So cottage cheese and eggs are really my go-to, and then any Mexican dishes, but you can totally put this in anything you want to. Make taco meat with this a lot. So that's another one. All right, so here we go. Cinnamon. Okay, and not all cinnamons are created equal. I am just learning this, y'all. So this is actually a roasted Saigon cinnamon. Y'all, I did not know what I was missing before I had this roasted cinnamon, okay? I just been buying like the little tins like my mama had up in her cabinet. Yeah, this stuff is awesome. And believe it or not, I love adding this to my chocolate protein shake. I drink Shakeology. I love putting this in my vegan chocolate Shakeology. It makes the chocolate flavor just really pop. It's a really, really nice flavor. But I also love to use this in my oatmeal. I love to use this when I'm cooking. I love to use this in the replacement of any kind of cinnamon. But cinnamon has such great health properties too. Like I said, if you're interested in learning more about the health properties, then check out the article that I wrote to go along with this video post. So, yeah, there we go. So far we've had salt, we've had cumin, we've had smoked paprika, and we've had cinnamon, okay? So here we go. Well, this is what I feel like is probably the superhero of my spice cabinet, okay? And you might be like, what? Turmeric, okay? Maybe you've heard the hype, maybe you haven't. The person who turned me on to turmeric, believe it or not, was my chiropractor. I was having some real sciatic issues, was having some real inflammation, and he suggested that I started adding a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric to whatever I wanted, and it would have the benefit of like taking Advil or ibuprofen, but it was all natural. And he was talking about how there's been research studies done that it's just as beneficial. I'm like, do what? So I started by adding a 1/4 teaspoon, because a 1/4 teaspoon is not much, in my protein shake. I tasted it a little bit. I have a rather sensitive palate. The husband doesn't. He doesn't taste it. But you can also just add it to some water or some milk and drink it that way if you're just looking to get the anti-inflammatory properties. But I have been really messing with using this spice in my cooking. And I will tell you, one of the ways that I love using it is with eggs. Y'all, I eat eggs every day, like totally. Eggs are usually my mid-morning meal. I drink my protein shake if it's my first meal. My mid-morning meal usually involves eggs. Turmeric, number one, gives your eggs such a beautiful flavor, but it has a nice heat to it without being really spicy, but it adds such great flavor. I like using it on my sauteed veggies. If I am sauteing some mushrooms, then this is absolutely going in there with it. I do try to not use an overabundance because it can get a little gritty if you use a lot, because it is a very fine powder. Also note that this will color your pee, okay, if you eat enough of it. Just FYI. So you're not having dark pee because you're not drinking enough water. You are just having dark pee because you had turmeric. So if you have other uses for turmeric, I totally want to hear about them, but I wanted it to be on this list because it has helped so much with my inflammation. If you know, and you've read anything from me recently, you know I recently sprained my hip, and so inflammation has been a big deal for me right now. And so because of that, I've been using turmeric every day for my inflammation, and it has totally made a big difference. So those are my top 5 spices that you totally got to have in your cabinet. Because I didn't know as much about the health benefits, I didn't put them in my top 5, but I have 3 honorable mentions for you today. And they're actually spice blends. All 3 of them come from Trader Joe's. So the first one is Everything But the Bagel Seasoning. Okay, Everything But the Bagel Sesame Seasoning Blend. Okay, this stuff has sesame seeds, sea salt, dried minced garlic, dried minced onion, black sesame seeds, and poppy seeds. This stuff is legit. It is so good. Believe it or not, I like to throw this in my cottage cheese. I do. I like it. I like to throw it on a little bit of everything. If it sounds like it would be good, then I just throw it on there. But it's really good. People put it on all kinds of stuff. I've seen people do like a laughing cow cheese and then sprinkle some of this on there to kind of give them that everything bagel kind of taste with the cream cheese. But if you have other uses for this, like I said, I want to know about them. But it just tastes so good. So that's my first one. My second honorable mention is the 21 Seasoning Salute from Trader Joe's. Like I said, I go to Trader Joe's a lot for my spices. So this really punches up stuff, okay? I really like it. Onion, spices of black pepper, celery seed, cayenne pepper, parsley, basil, marjoram, bay leaf, oregano, thyme, savory, rosemary, cumin, mustard, coriander, garlic, carrot, orange peel, tomato granules, lemon juice powder, oil of lemon, and citric acid. Whew, that was a lot of things to say. I use this when I'm baking chicken. I use it when I grill. I put it on burgers. I've put it in my eggs before if I'm looking for something other than that Mexican Santa Fe type style. It just is a really, really good flavor for a nice basic seasoning. I like to put it on roasted potatoes. So that's another good one. And my last one is one that we have used for quite a while here at the house, even before we were really eating clean and healthy, is the everyday seasoning from Trader Joe's. It comes with a built-in grinder, so I really like that. So you get the fresh tasting of the freshly ground spices, which I really, really love. So it says it adds zing. It does add zing. Sea salt, mustard seeds, black peppercorns, coriander, onion, garlic, paprika, chili pepper. Okay, so totally some awesome stuff. It is made in a factory that does wheat and soy, so our gluten-free people maybe can't use this one. But I love it. It grinds. It tastes really, really good. Like I said, I use it on a little bit of everything. I use it on eggs. I use it on roasted potatoes. I use it on my meats whenever I'm cooking those. I just kind of use it on a little bit of everything. You do have to be careful because these do have salt in them, and so if they have salt in them, I definitely make sure that I decrease the amount of salt that I use. And I'm regularly somebody who tends to not put salt on something until later on, unless I know it's something that's going to absolutely need salt, like a potato or something like that. But I tend to be light on the salt anyway. I have blood pressure issues, and my husband prefers more salt than I do. So we generally would prefer to add on later than it is to over salt in the beginning, because I don't like salty things. So those are my top 5 spices plus 3 honorable mentions of the seasoning blends, okay? So I do everything to taste. Figure out what works for you. If you have other spices you love, please comment and let me know, because I totally want to know about them. I totally want to try them out, because I'm all about keeping things spiced up so that I can keep my taste buds zinging and I don't get tired of my health food. Just a thought. So you guys have a great day.